Hello YouTubers, welcome back to another Dr. Spicer 10 YouTube video, and today is another TARDIS console diary thing. If you remember a couple of months back or so, I started on the 10th Doctor's TARDIS console project, where I was just getting the table backed up and I was just talking through the plans. Well, from that point, things have been going downhill. Where it didn't go to plan. The original rib sections were all crooked, it didn't stay down or anything, it was just a whole mess. So me being me, I got a bit frustrated, I took it all down, and then I just left it until I was ready, until I was properly ready. And then last night, I've been working on the rib section because I had a table built up in the other room for a long while now. As you probably know from the last video, the TARDIS update video, I had a table updated and ready to go up. Well, I've done the ribs now. I've only got one rib section missing, but when I get some more material, I will make another rib section up and then screw that on down, ready to go. It's all going to be done in a way where I'll be able to just dismantle it into pieces and then just move it around like this one, even though it wasn't really intended to, but I figured out I could take it apart when I was moving rooms, so, because the original spot, I got a spider on there, was it? It's just red. Because in the old room, the TARDIS console was set up in a way where I couldn't dismantle it or anything. Well, when I was moving rooms, I discovered I could, as I demonstrated in the last video, that there's no, I didn't demonstrate it because I cut that part out. Well, it splits into like 3 different sections: the time rotor, the console, and the legs, basically. Now, I've used a similar technique for the middle section, where I took an old tin can, but a stronger one, not this one, and I screwed it down so it's stable like this. In fact, this one is really stable. This one's got about 6-7 screws in. The other one's only got about 2. And obviously the didgeridoo is obviously screwed in. Well, on the other one, I'm going to show you what's going to happen. Now, since the last video, this has been playing, well, the original fan was playing Silly Buggers. So I replaced it with a different one. So when I turn it on, it will thingy. It needs a bit of a kickstart to turn it on because I haven't used this for a long while, as you can see. But every time I spin it, there you go. It's just because it's a brand new fan, basically. It just needs working in a little bit because it's been in my toolbox for a long while. But yeah, so similar layout, just a different fan. I've still got the original one. It still works. It's been a pain in the neck, so I replaced it. So yeah, now update since the last video. These levers are doing an amazing job. Battery pack down there is doing an amazing job. I still haven't tapped that up yet, but I probably should. So yeah. Obviously say K&N down there. Also, this has been changed up. I'm going to quickly show you. TARDIS key. So I'm going to quickly show you. So yeah, I'm going to quickly show you. I've cut a slot out so it locks flush instead of on a screw. And then that. So yeah. So it'll lock now. Okay, let's take you to the other room and let's show you the updates and progress. Okay, I'm gonna show the console in a minute. I'm just gonna give you a bit more of a weight because I like to do that. So this is what I knocked up a few months ago. This is meant to be the real stat, but it's obviously meant to be bigger and bulkier. It's not meant to be square either, but it will. I'm probably gonna shave it down a little bit so it's just circular as much as I can. It's obviously going to be raised up a little bit, and it's going to have tubes on the side of it, tubes of this size, and obviously going on the sides like that to make it look like a rheostat. I can only put one side on, but I'm thinking of leaving it in a square shape and having tubes on the side of it and also paint it black and stuff. But yeah, this is what the same stuff on my actual other TARDIS. What I talked about is like when you get a brand new bike and it's they protect your brand new bike from there being. I don't know what it's for really. It was just part of the packaging. I've got like a few of these, so I've used one on a pen lid and a screw, so that works as a rear start. Then my mate helped me design this, Josh. He'll be watching this video, so hello Josh. So this is the D-mat lever. It's based on the same design as the 10th Doctor's. It's just a little bit more straight down instead of like a straight curve. But I like this. This is a temporary one. I will be making a wooden one. But this one will be surrounded in wood for the time being until I can make a proper wood one. But yeah, it will obviously do stuff. I'm thinking of trying to make it hook up to the time rotor like my other TARDIS, where it changes the light settings. I don't know yet. I'm still deciding about that. And obviously we've got the screen accurate helping hands. This is actually one of the original pieces I actually have. This is on the 13th Doctor's TARDIS and the 9th and 10th Doctor's TARDIS. But I believe this was like added on in Tennant's era and not in Christopher's era. But yeah, this will be able to just slide on and slide off, so I can use it as well, you know, use it properly. So if I ever need to use it while I'm soldering or something, I can just slide it off the console. Then we have the sonic charging port, which was made for my TWC 10th Doctor screwdriver. This is like when I was buying it off Smithall. But this is when it's got a pressure switch, homemade pressure switch, and when the screwdriver's in it, it lights up, and the battery pack's in there. It takes 3 LR44s, and it'll just sit on top of there. Oh, spoilers. So yeah. Now here we have a Heroes tub. This will sit in the middle of the console. Obviously it's going to be tacked down somehow. Don't know how, I'm still working that out. I'm thinking of like having a peg system for this. So yeah, this will be painted black with some like copper tape around it to give it that like gold look on the 10th Doctor's TARDIS in the middle. Then on top of that, you'll have like your 2 stacked pieces, and then you have your time rotor. Speaking of TARDISes, here we have the console so far. Now this is a massive upgrade to last time. These are screwed down here like on my other TARDIS. And also it's bent to give it that curvature. This one's a little bit straighter, but that's because this isn't pushed all the way down properly. But I will be putting support blocks underneath to give it some lift. So yeah, and I'll be screwing that a little bit more further down. But that's the middle. You're thinking, where the hell's the other rib section? I haven't got another piece of this. So yeah, this is... I'm going to need another piece cut when I can find some and screwed into these 2 points. And it'll leave like a hole. Don't even do that, Drew. And it'll leave a hole for me to put like a peg system in. Because what I'm thinking is if I put a hole in the middle of here, I'll be able to put that on top of there. And if I get 2 like disky looking things at like points, I'll be able to just put a hole through those as well and do it so it just pegs down into the sugar pot. It's screwed in, so it's not going to go anywhere. It's really solid. And then obviously the time rotor, which is going to be this stuff. I put some connects around it to obviously keep it in position while I was doing a test fit. So you can see, you know, it's about as tall as my mate's TARDIS console at this current time. I think his might be slightly taller, but I'm on about the time rotor in size. But yeah, now if you're wondering, yes, there is a TV. This was from just lying around. It wasn't in a good nick. Well, it was working. I mean, it does work. I've had to modify the casing slightly. And if you're wondering why didn't I just use a normal TV stand, well, we've lost it. So I've had to resort in a bit of jiggery pokery. I'm hoping this thing works. I think it does. It's just the plastic has moved out a little bit because of the screws. I've took the circuit board, the receiver sensor, out of the TV because the screws are way too long. It's going to budge into this. I just move this onto the side, so it looks 10th Doctor-y, I guess. So I kind of like that. It looks like it's just being tacked on for the sake of it. It does work. It has a DVD player in it, so like I said in the last video, I want to be able to put like background stuff on it. I'll be able to do that. I can access the buttons on the back. Unfortunately, it will not swivel around on the console like originally intended, because, you know, I don't mind it being static. I quite like the static of it, you know, to be static. But yeah, this is the power lead. I still haven't found a power cube or something for it yet. But it's 12 volts DC, so if anyone out there can give me help with what I can use, then let me know. But it does work, because when I stick a 9-volt battery in, it does light that up a little bit, so it does work. There's power going into it, but I need a 12, so yeah. And obviously, when the timer is on, it's going to have lights and everything in it. So yeah. So I'm going to show you how I tack this on. So because the original thing was missing, it's MDF in between, sandwiched, and then a hard block of wood on the back, and then this is like a support beam to stop it from rocking too far, and it works. It's about as rickety as the 10th Doctor's, so I like that. And it's got a bracket. I was going to use this for the TARDIS, the police box, but it wouldn't reach, so I decided to use it on here. And I use this bit here to give it that thing. This can just be moved out and that can be unscrewed and then the thing can come out. But speaking of unscrewing, so the idea is if I want to move things around, I'd unscrew these, obviously keep it so it's labelled, which it is, A and A, B and B, C and C, D and D, E and E, and F and F. So, and then this will just this can unscrew as well. This will just lift off because there's nothing holding these down, it's just screws in screws basically, but it serves like a tack point. It actually keeps the grip of it down as well, so it's not actually lifting too much. So it's keeping its, you know, it's really sturdy, this thing. You know, it's a bit flimsy on this one because that is tightening down, but yeah, it works really well. When I get the other piece down, hole in there, and it'll have a slot. So what I'm thinking of doing like next is like when I've got the power cable, the power thing to this, someone can give me help for that in the comments. I'm gonna try and see if the DVD thing still works, and I'll do a photo of it. So yeah, not really much else to say really, apart from like just having the thing. Yeah, that's going to obviously have its thing there, and obviously thing it down like so, and then it'll be opposite to this to make it equal. I know I maxed it out of here, but when I put this down, I didn't really think so. Yeah, but it's still equal. Like top view, it's pretty much equal. There may be like a few differences because of the thickness of these have varied slightly. But yeah, these aren't as thick as the original TARDIS rib sections. They're not as thick as Josh's rib sections either. Rib sections. So yeah. But when I've also got the main thing done, it'll be getting the parts made. Well, saving up for the CT, and then when I've got CT, it'll be saving up for Perspex panels, and I think I'm going to try and find something for like the mesh panels. And then it's pretty much starting attaching things onto the rib sections, I think, once I've painted them brown. So, yeah. So, here's the time rotor. Here's an idea what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my mate's idea, I think. Obviously, it's going to be extended up to the ceiling, I think. I don't know yet, it just depends. Because I've got two of these. This one's like tighted rolled at the minute because it's nothing from flimsing open. But if I have two of these together, it's pretty tall. It's like I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I'm thinking of just doing it where it's just like somewhat inside, and then it's just going to make it look like camera, and I'm thinking of using like the same similar lighting effects as my actual other TARDIS console I've got. So yeah, so basically that'll be stuck on top of there. Obviously painted black and some copper tape around it. A hole in there, a hole in the other bits as well, and it'll have like a peg system, so I can peg this down, so it'll be centered. I'm thinking of adding like something to make it look like it's attached to this. I'm not sure yet, but I like the idea of just seeing a part of this when you have the panel. So yeah. But yeah, that's the idea. Also, you get your two little thingies. I don't know how far it's going to work because I'm going to have to use smaller ones because it will only go to a certain point. And then you got this, which will go on top of the rigid section. Sorry, and then you get the idea. So when I move, you can see. I know it's not straight at the minute. I just did this as to show you, to give you an example of the console, and then obviously round here. Then once I've got the other rib section on, I'll have to trim these down while it's in suit, really. But I'll give it some extra length, just a bit. Then when I put like the thingies on it, I can make like a thing. I don't know what I'm going to do for these yet. But I'm just working on the rib sections at the time being. But I will be making supports underneath to support these up a little bit more, just to give it a little bit more lift and stability. And then in here, I'll have like little blocks to help hold the panels up. Because my mate used like cans and books and stuff. It's not really, a proper fix really. He's having to fix his TARDIS like every 2 minutes because something keeps going wrong. But it's a really cool TARDIS, and he's inspired me to do that, and so is my doctor really. So yeah, but yeah, that'll be like incented. It's not doing anything just yet though, because it's it's not. I'm waiting for the other bit first before I can do that. But for the time being, I will be making more sections. I think like my mate said, oh, you can use like CDs and stuff, and I'm thinking, well, the CDs won't really fit, so I have to trim those down if I can. I know there's one that fits on top, but yeah, fits on like that. And then you've got your helping hands. This is only a mock-up, but you can see I need to put like something in there to also keep it so it stops it from sliding off. But yeah, I'm really proud of that. And also the D-mat lever, like I said earlier, covered in wood for the time being, so I've got scraps in there I can make with. It's not standing straight at the minute, but it will like sit like somewhere here maybe. I don't know where to sit it. So yeah, but when I make a proper wooden one, it'll be swapped out. But I'm using this as a mock-up, but a proper mock-up. But we'll be having blocks around it to give it that shape for the time being until I can properly make one. So yeah, so that's really it for the TARDIS for now. I can't really add any lights or anything to it yet, but I've got the monitor down ready. Obviously that's how it still has a remote with it, so I can use the remote on there if I wanted to, or the sonic screwdriver to turn it on. That's the idea. It's also got buttons behind there. But yeah, so it's had a massive change since the last TARDIS diary one. So yeah. So if you liked what you see, please leave a like and of course subscribe. Don't forget to check out my other social media such as Instagram and TikTok, .spice10. Thank you, Josh, for giving me help and advice with the TARDIS so far. And yes, Josh is a big part in this. He's been helping me like scale things out a little bit. And yeah, so he'll be giving me much help in the near future with the TARDIS. But yeah, so soon enough, I'll have 2 TARDIS consoles and a police box. I'm not mad, I swear. But yeah, but at least I'll be able to recreate that TikTok soon from the 50th anniversary. Desktop is glitching. It's trying to compensate for one of us. But yeah, that's basically, yeah. And then obviously when the console's done, it'll be working on the roundels. Can't wait for those. I've already got silver plated ones, but I think I might use them for my custom TARDIS and not this one. But yeah, anyways, thank you for watching. I really hope you have a nice day. evening or night, whatever time period it is for you out there, because obviously different time zones. This like timey-wimey stuff. But anyways, so thank you for watching. Alonzo.